Hello guys, SCIFIGEN here. So today we gonna unbox the Xiaomi's Mi A2. So without much further ado, let's get started. The Mi A2 is aimed at those looking for an uncluttered software experience. As the device is in the Android One initiative, the interface is in line with Google's vision for Android. Also included in the box is a silicone case that offers basic protection. Unlike most Xiaomi phones, the Mi A2 comes with QuickCharge 3.0 out of the box, and the Indian unit supports QuickCharge 4.0 exclusively. However, you will have to pick up a third-party wall unit to access QuickCharge 4.0 speeds, as the wall charger bundled in the box is the standard 5V 2A unit that Xiaomi includes with its budget phones. The Snapdragon 660 makes it one of the fastest phones in this category, and you get 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage as standard in India. While 64GB of storage is more than enough for most, there will always be a subset of users that will refuse to buy a device that doesn't have a microSD slot. And that's fine. Xiaomi has more than enough devices in the budget segment, and the Redmi Note 5 Pro is a better bet for those that want the added features. Even with the missing headphone jack, the Mi A2 remains as thick as the Mi A1 at 7.3mm. Xiaomi has also retained the IR blaster, but the 3.5mm jack is no longer present. Xiaomi provides a USB-C to 3.5mm dongle in the box that lets you hook up your headphone jack to the device. When it comes to battery, the Mi A2 is backed by a 3010 mAh battery. In our experience, the battery of this smartphone lasted easily about a day with moderate usage. Xiaomi hasn't made any significant changes to its design in the last 2 years. The device still feels like an improved version of the Redmi Note 5 Pro, as it has the same antenna lines at the top and bottom, and a similar matte finish. While the Mi A2 may not look very different from its predecessor, it has rounded corners and subtle curves at the back that make it easier to hold. On the left side is the dual SIM card slot, while the right side is where you will find the power button and volume rocker. On the bottom of the Mi A2 you will find the USB-C connector as well as a speaker on one side and a microphone on the other. The top of the phone is where you will find the IR blaster as well as another microphone. The camera sensor on the Mi A2 protrudes quite a bit from the body, making the phone wobble when using it on a flat surface. On the subject of camera, the dual 12MP plus 20MP configuration at the back is one of the best in this category. Coming to the display, the 5.99-inch Full HD Plus panel on the Mi A2 is similar to what we've seen on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. but it's missing the display tweaks on offer with MIUI. The Mi A2 is the first phone in India with Gorilla Glass 5 protection with better design aesthetic. The Mi A2 has a single speaker located at the bottom and it's loud. You do get dual SIM support and dual voltage supported here. The device runs Android 8.1 Oreo out of the box, and Xiaomi has committed to delivering the Android Pie update in the coming months. Another unique feature on Mi A2 is the manual mode that lets you select between the regular 12 megapixel sensor or the 20 megapixel low light shooter according to environment lighting. For example, switching to the 20 megapixel sensor when shooting in low light situations takes advantage of the large 2.0 micron pixels for brighter photos. The camera interface has toggles for the flash, HDR and live filters, and you'll be able to switch between shooting modes with a swipe left or right gesture. The Mi A2 comes with two new imaging sensors at the back, a 12 megapixel f/1.75 aperture and with a Sony IMX486 sensor, joined by a 20 megapixel f/1.75 aperture and with a Sony IMX376 sensor. The Mi A2 has a 20 megapixel front camera f/2.2 aperture and with a Sony IMX376 sensor. Selfies are detailed and we got sharp results when shooting indoors. HDR is available for the selfie camera and kicks in automatically when required. When it comes to video recording, Mi A2 comes with EIS in addition. The selfie camera is another bombshell. It sports a 20 megapixel with soft selfie light and auto HDR. It comes with AI portrait mode which gives AI bokeh enhancements. Just like the rear camera, you also get a 4-in-1 super pixel feature on the front snapper for perfect selfies in a low light environment. Mi A2 front camera supports 1080p at 30 fps video recording, whereas rear camera can support up to 4K video at 30 fps recording. You also get the option to shoot in 1080p at 60 fps rather than 30 fps with the rear camera. Video stabilization is available for the rear camera and helps you capture steady footage. At this price, Xiaomi offers a well-performing mid-range processor, solid camera performance and stock Android experience, which is hard to find in competition at this price. When it comes to security, apart from fingerprint sensor, you also get face unlock feature, which is pretty good. As you can see, face unlock is working fine, except few times when it failed to recognize my face.